Phone from LifeSouth Community Blood Center, and of course, he comes on the air with us each weekday morning to remind us of our role in making sure that there is a blood supply. And it's simple: we go to LifeSouth and lay down and let a phlebotomist put a needle in us and watch TV for a half hour, and we're done.
Right.
And sometimes it's not even a half hour. Good morning, Galen.
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are y'all?
Good. Could you hear me at all? Or did I forget to push the button?
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything. I thought I got disconnected.
Sorry. No, I was introducing you. I had a nice intro.
I'm sure it was.
So where are you right now?
Just getting on the I-75.
So it's back to normal, the normal routine. How did it go yesterday with the driver's thing?
Oh, yeah. Well, he'd already taken his test and everything online. All he had to do was take his photo. So, yeah, well.
I bet
Nice
he
and
was
easy.
proud.
So now for the next year, he can drive with you or your wife, right?
I think he didn't really appreciate it until he got it. He had to, take the test, and I think he had to take the test twice because he goes, "This is going to be easy." I'm like, "It's not going to be easy." I say, "They asked some really stupid questions." So he took it really without studying it the first time, and they asked like, if you're going to park next to a railroad stop, how far do you have to be from the railroad stop?
Oh,
I'm like, I have no idea.
really? I don't either.
That's why you have to study the book. So it was just stuff like that.
Isn't there normally a line? Don't you just stop at the line?
Yeah.
No. Well, this is if you're parking. I mean, in the way they ask the questions, it's really, really.
Oh. What is the answer to that one? Do you know?
It's 25 feet. Yeah,
Oh,
we studied for that. He studied. He's like, oh my gosh. So I guess he got a perfect score on the second time he took it.
Oh,
but
wonderful.
I'm like, who cares? I'm like, just get your license. It's a pass-fail.
Yeah. Well, and driving is a skill that a lot of people lose. They lose touch with it anyway later on in life. We were talking about that this morning. In fact, we were talking about if there was an improvement in cars, what would it be? And the only thing I can think of is you need an improvement in drivers, not in cars.
Exactly.
I think.
Well, and that's why cars are becoming more and more automated. That's why they'll self-parallel park. That's why they have those, when somebody's in your blind spot indicators and when you change lanes, all that stuff.
Well, it is part of what we're talking to you about today because today is International Inventors Day, International Inventors Day, right? Inventor, not inventions.
Yeah,
but anyway, it's about inventions and inventors. And what's it called? The CES? What's that called again?
Consumer Electronics
The Consumer Electronics Show is today. We've got a guest tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's tomorrow.
Calling in from the show. But they introduced a smart bra.
I got to hear about this one. What does that do?
Yeah, okay, the smart bra. Oh, I did look it up. I had to say.
Is it like...
I'm not going to look that up, Larry. I can't imagine anything good coming out of my Google.
It's out of a San Francisco company. Mm-hmm. Hopes women will ditch the Fitbit or the Apple Watch and forget about having to use an accessory to measure heart rate and steps. The OM bra, also known as the world's first smart bra, introduced at the Consumer Electronics Show, aims to measure your biometrics through a piece of clothing that you already wear every day.
That makes sense.
Okay. I thought it was something to do with the physical thing of the woman, because sometimes one side isn't the same size as the other side. So I thought maybe you put the bra on and you pump up the one side that's a little smaller than the other side, and it makes it look the same. And you put that sweater on and you look drop dead gorgeous.
No.
Oh, okay.
It is $150. It is $150. The Smart Jock, by the way, is only $130. $20 cheaper, Galen.
Yeah, I don't want anything electronic that close to it.
The Smart Jock.
The Smart Jock strap. So what?
You only wear those when you play sports, don't you? The jock strap? I mean, you don't
Galen?
use it for every day.
Do you wear these things at all?
Yeah.
That was a requirement in school. It's not a requirement in life.
Well, only when you're playing something where you can actually get hit there and it hurts.
Okay. Okay, but the Apple Watch, it's on your wrist. You can lift your wrist and look at it and read whatever we want to know. How far have I walked?
Yeah, but these are for the people that want to measure their fitness all day long. I really believe there's a market for that stuff.
I do too, but how do you read it?
I know a lot of people who are. Well, you read it at the end of the day, or there's probably some output.
Oh,
it talks to you.
Oh, I see. Oh, you don't read
a cord in
okay, you don't read it at the time. You don't open your shirt and say, "Oh my gosh, look at my heart rate."
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't think that's the way people even use the Fitbit. So I think they just look at it at the end of the day and say, all right, how many calories did I burn, or what was my heart rate today, that kind of thing.
All right, but you look at the end. So when you take off the Smart Jock, I mean, whew.
How do you wash that stuff?
I don't know.
And still keep it intact.
Isn't that the craziest garment ever, the jock strap? It's not the craziest garment.
No.
That's not a crazy garment?
Not if it's helped you before.
Really?
I played baseball and took one and cracked it. And I'm like, oh, thank gosh.
Well, protection.
Yeah.
The jock strap didn't help you. It was the cup that stopped it, right? The cup.
Well, yeah, but the cup holds the, and that's what it's held by. It's a system.
Did it make that kind of sound when it hit it?
It just cracked. Yeah,
well, maybe we can have a tape recorder on there too. That way we
Does
can.
Does anybody wear them at all? No.
I think if you're
I think the Smart Bra is going to take off better than the Smart Jockstrap, even if it is $30, $20 cheaper.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you keep it clean? How do you wash the sweat off of it without messing with the
You can wash a lot of
electronics?
things.
Well, maybe you pull something out of it. Maybe there's an electronic.
Yeah, that's probably all it is.
Yeah, but my body sweats all over the place on my bra, not just in a certain spot.
I think you're thinking too much.
There'll be issues.
I don't know. I'm clicking on it. It's not taking me anywhere. I'm looking for a picture to show.
We got to go to the Consumer Electronics.
All right. Well, somebody's calling in tomorrow from that show. We'll have to ask them about it. All right. So how is the blood supply? I have other inventions.
Okay. Well, we're still in pretty desperate need. We have about a 2-day blood supply right now. So just get out there and give the gift of life and donate blood. We're still trying to recover from the holidays, and we're still short. So we need you to roll up your sleeves and be a part of your community by giving blood.
There you go. Boy, some nice pictures show up when you look for this thing, by the way.
I bet they
do.
do.
I was about to say, that's what I'm not searching for.
Apparently, there's an EKG on the left side, an EDA also in the left side on the front, and then there's something called a board right between the two cups. Don't know what those things do, but those are the components of this thing.
Sounds uncomfortable to me. Strap me in, honey. I'm going for a run.
Penn Flooring and Palm Garden are the two sponsors of the important message that Galen just gave us regarding our role in making sure that there is a blood supply. And so be sure to thank them for their sponsorships. Penn Flooring has some beautiful flooring. If you are thinking of remodeling, you might want to consider the floor. Obviously, and that could be anything from a carpet to new wood flooring to just revamping the whole thing with some kind of linoleum that looks, something that you've never thought about before. Make the whole room look different. And to see what they have and to learn more, go to Penn Flooring at 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the McKay Williams Bridge. And then Palm Garden, also, they have a program called Chats at the Garden. Palm Garden is a great place to go for long-term health care, skilled nursing care, respite care. If you take a tour, you'll see why people choose Palm Garden. And the Chats at the Garden is an opportunity for all of us to learn from a health provider some important information. They have these little get-togethers where a speaker makes a presentation and you get to ask questions, and they have one coming up, and there'll be an ad for that in just a little bit, so you'll know when the next one is. All right, so that Smart Bra is an invention, Galen. Today is the International Day of Inventors. Did I lose you?
Great.
Okay, it's still there.
No.
All right, so today, let's see, at the today's press day at the Consumer Electronics Show. Let's see, the world's first Smart Bra. I told you that a tiny live streaming video camera is being introduced. I don't know how small they mean by tiny. I thought we already had this in the medical field, didn't we?
Yeah, we do.
Galen?
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of little cameras that are in there. I don't know how tiny is, though.
Ford and Toyota are showing off their latest self-driving cars today. And there's a new company that makes cars called Faraday Future, and they are unveiling their car, which is an answer to the Tesla car. That's today, too.
Oh,
wow.
An electric vehicle.
Electric vehicles, okay. Today, some other life-changing things. Now, these are not necessarily inventions, but I thought you'd appreciate these. This is an interesting one, Galen. The New York Times has experimented with, of all things, a printed newspaper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
That's
They've done
novel.
some studies. They gave out some free subscriptions to the newspaper, and they found that the modern day person is preferring a hands-on newspaper to the on-screen newspaper. I actually did too, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I think a lot of people do.
So this year,
No, they don't. That's why they're dying.
No.
And here's
Oh,
the issue.
oh, you're wrong. Hold on. We got the break. Hold on. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For Tuesday, a mix of clouds and sun and becoming breezy. There can be a shower along the coast, the high 59 in the north to 68 in the south. Partly cloudy Tuesday night. There may be a shower in spots along the coast with more clouds. Lows ranging from the upper 40s and low 50s, well inland to the low 60s on the beaches. For Wednesday, variable cloudiness and breezy with a passing shower, high 67 to 71. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Palm Garden is starting a new Chats at the Garden series, and on January 14th at 2 p.m., Steve Head will be talking about carotid stenosis and preventing strokes. Steve is a physician's assistant working with surgical specialists of Ocala. Chats at the Garden is open to the public, and Palm Garden is located on the corner of Southwest 34th Street and 27th Avenue. Plan to attend Chats at the Garden on January 14th at 2 p.m. For more information, call 854-6262.
Have you heard of Hyperdirectory? When looking for local businesses, go to hyper.directory. No need for www, no need for .com, just hyper.directory. Connecting customers to local companies when it matters most. Hyperdirectory is your local business directory partnered with the Ocala Chamber and Economic Partnership to bring you trusted local businesses. Keeping Ocala local. Use hyper.directory. No www, not even .com, just hyper.directory. Connecting customers to businesses when it matters most.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
All right, 17 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Galen Unold is on the phone from LifeSouth Community Blood Center. Remember the important message Galen delivers every day, and that is simple, that you and I are the reason there is a blood supply. If we don't go and donate blood, there is no blood. And that means lives will not be saved. But when you do donate blood, you are saving a life. It sounds almost too simple to be true that you can save a life just by donating blood, but it's absolutely true. And to prove it to yourself, if you ever get a chance, walk through the hospital. Look in all the rooms. There's almost on every floor, at least, maybe not every room, but there's somebody getting blood somewhere or a blood product. All right, so we left on an argument. The New York Times says they have discovered that people are preferring hands-on newspaper. You told me during the break that the Boston Globe just printed their last paper yesterday.
Yes.
So, let me just read what it says here. It says, people spend all day at work looking at their screens and their eyes hurt.
Yeah.
So they want to read what's happening in the world, but they don't want to be looking at a screen anymore. So they have decided that the old way of looking at a newspaper with an actual hands-on newspaper is a lot more restful to the eyes.
I don't disagree with that.
You don't disagree, okay.
No, but what I disagree with is the newspaper is still dying. And the reason is because, one, you can get that same information free, one, and secondly, you want that information when you want it. You don't want to have to pick up the paper or to buy the paper. It's just not convenient. So when you could just pull up any news app on your phone or your tablet or anything else and be able to see it there. That's the difference. That's why I argue whether or not it's going to make a comeback.
It's interesting, yeah. Okay, but and I think you will agree with this, but I understand what you're saying and don't disagree with what you're saying. But I think when you buy a newspaper, it's not just the news. It's the comics. It's the crossword.
No.
Yeah, it's the ads.
What do you mean no? What do you mean no?
No, and I don't think, first of all, I don't even know if there are comics anymore.
Okay,
Because
then
you can get that same comic and that same crossword puzzle on your
who
tablet.
does that?
And I don't think that's why people.
Nobody does that.
I do it.
You do the crossword
I
online?
use Sudoku on my
Oh, you do?
on my tablet. Yeah, I do.
Oh.
I do crossword puzzles on my tablet.
Are they part of the newspaper or just like a site where you go?
No, it's a site. Yeah. I mean that's the thing. I mean it's just. I just think it's an old medium. That's all. I have nothing against newspapers. I work for one.
Well, anyway, there's
It's just an old medium.
It's a little bit expensive, I thought. That if you want to subscribe to the New York Times print edition,
Absolutely.
it's between $7 and $14 a week, depending on your subscription.
That's
Oh
it.
my gosh.
That's it. And you can get that same information by going to Drudge or CNN or Fox.
Yeah, okay, but I think okay. There's two arguments here for the printed paper. One is their argument, not mine, that it's easier on your eyes. I'm not really sure why, but that's what they say. But
I think that's true. I think
Well, the
because
paper
it's
But
is
my
very
argument,
helpful.
my argument is the peripheral stuff. And I'm not into astrology, but some people are. Some people used to buy the newspaper for the astrology column. Some people would buy it for the
you're-
comics.
If you're in it for the astrology, then you probably have an app on your phone that tells you your fortune every day. It's true. I mean, there's, again, all those peripherals are apps. Every one of those things is an app.
All right.
So if you want, you can get the crossword sent to your phone every day.
All right. So
Wow.
Galen will not be subscribing to it.
No.
No, I mean, and here's the test. My kids, they don't watch TV. They don't read the newspaper. If they want something, it's online. And their computer and their tablet is their gateway to everything.
Okay.
It's their gateway to the world, and they can find that information instantly.
So whatever sentiments I have about a newspaper is obviously a reflection of my age.
Right, and it's more about, I mean, I used to subscribe to the newspaper. I remember reading the newspaper on a daily basis.
Well, yeah, but I mean, somebody is
that
young.
being a part of the day.
Like your children are young enough that it has never been a part of their day. So,
No,
okay.
we haven't probably subscribed.
So you're
to the
probably right. It'll
newspaper
probably go away
15
completely.
years. Well, it is going away. I mean, you look at the subscription rates; it's extremely low.
But you know what I
and
like?
That's why these
like
newspapers are trying to figure out how to make money off of the news that they're gathering.
like when you're in the doctor's office, like Robin brought her dog to the vet, and I was sitting outside in the little waiting room, and they had a newspaper lying there. I think it was a Marion something.
Yeah. American Citizen.
And I had a good time just looking through the paper, and it was kind of nice. It was kind of comfortable or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, all right. That's not the only new thing. There's another new thing. For $85.
Whereas most people in that younger, I shouldn't say most, your younger audience is not even going to bother with that. They're going to have their phone out.
Right. Yeah, I
and
know.
they're going to look at their phone.
No, there
So-
was a guy sitting there, Galen, older than me, and his eyes were glued to his phone. So
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Because that phone has a million times more information than that paper does.
I know.
So
But it wasn't for information. It was just, I don't know. All right. Okay.
It's just something to read while you're waiting.
I think
no, what you're talking about is pure nostalgia.
that might be it. That might be it.
The
Yeah.
newspaper it's all nostalgia. That's what it's about.
All right. Let's move on to something else. Did you know that for $85 you can have a TSA pre-check at the airport and not
Yeah.
have to go through the big long line?
Yes.
For 5 years. $85 for 5 years.
You still get you can still be randomly checked. All they just do is a background check on you. So that you can go through this fast line. But I've heard bad things about it. So
Really?
you have to travel a lot for that to even be a valid.
TSA pre, the $85 deals for U.S. citizens and residents only.
Good. I'm glad.
All right, you get to go into a shorter line. You don't have to take off your shoes, your
And
belts.
it all depends on what airport you're flying into. If you're flying into all major airports, it makes sense. I mean, if you're flying into places like Gainesville, it doesn't matter. So, it's not like Gainesville's got a long line
right.
at security anyway.
Speaking of gadgets, the Apple TV, I know it's been around for a while, but they have a 64 gigabyte version for $200. They say this will sever your relationship with your cable TV people. You won't need cable TV anymore with this thing.
Yeah, that's the next thing to just go away. So, except for they just provide the internet service.
Yeah, you still need the company for the internet or something, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
cable
that's
company, right?
Or some other cable provider.
It says that the new
that's next.
fourth generation Apple TV is the best streaming device we've tested. If this device doesn't convince you to quit cable for good, I don't know what will. The Apple TV software is completely rebuilt so that it now works just like any other iOS device. There's an app store where, in addition to standards like Hulu and Netflix, you can download games. There you go. Anyway, it's TV and I guess everything, movies and everything. All right. Have you heard of the Cricket Explorer Air?
No.
Robin and I never heard of this before. We looked it up. What it is, it looks like a printer, but what it does is it cuts paper into whatever you want it to cut it into. Like precise cutting, precision cutting.
Oh.
You can make cards, greeting cards from that. You can make other things to put on banners and stuff.
And I would imagine this will be a business tool. You'll be using this to put like your company logo on things instead of printing it on. It's an extra layer of paper.
Yeah,
Just to,
it's pretty cool looking. It's what, $200 and some dollars?
$249.99.
Yeah, if you've got a person to do this and you've got the time to be creative this way, it's a good idea. Hooks up to your computer, right? Computer monitor.
Yeah, you hook it up to to software, and then you can do anything you want. You can put your own face. You can cut out a stencil of your face.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I don't know what you would do with that, but
Well, you did that one time. Only you hand drew a face of your cartoon character, and
Right.
everybody wore it.
right, I sure
Yeah,
did. I sure
that's
did.
right.
All right, here's another thing new that you might want to try: Bud Light Lime, only $8, Galen.
It's been out for a long time.
Is that right? Bud Light Lime.
Yeah, I thought maybe just Bud Lime has been out. Maybe now they just finally came out with Bud Light Lime.
Yeah, Bud Light Lime
Okay.
is brand new.
Was it lime and beer? Lime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lime and beer.
What you do with a Corona? I mean,
All right, this next
people
one
have
is.
been doing that for a long time.
I had to ask Robert. Oh, here's another one. The KonMari method. This is to keep your office and your room according to the book. The KonMari method is a book. When you keep your place organized, you think better.
I thought that was
Feng Shui.
Feng Shui, yeah, that's similar. When you keep your place organized, you think better. No wonder I think so crazy.
No, it's artistic. I mean, gosh, you got to have creativity somewhere.
Keep a pair of slippers in the office. Another idea for 2016. Keep your slippers in the office, Galen.
Office slippers.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I won't do that.
I mean, there are people in my building that do, and I'm like, oh, come on.
Oh, really?
That uncomfortable.
Really? And they wear their
Ladies?
slippers?
Ladies?
Well, yeah, they'll take off their shoes the second they get in, and then they won't put their shoes back on until they leave, and they just walk around in slippers.
Oh, my gosh.
What's-
Okay, why don't you? Well, okay.
What do
I
you-
can't do
what-
that.
Did you ever notice when you were in New York that all the ladies are wearing sneakers on the subway
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
because they have their
Well, that's a little different because they're walking. I mean, you're covering ground at that point.
but then when they
It's
get
not
to
like-
work, they have their
Your high
their
heels.
dress shoes or high heels,
Yeah,
whatever.
your high
Yeah.
heels. Sure, I would do that if I lived up there.
I have no problem with that.
Sure, because you don't want to ruin your heels.
And another thing for the ladies is foot traffic combed cotton tights. I had to ask Robin what the heck these were. They're only $20, but she described them as long underwear that look good.
Exactly, on ladies' legs, yeah. Good idea for the ladies. And plus, you can get them in pantyhose or thigh high.
There you go, Galen.
The thigh high is
You could wear them under your pants,
of
Galen,
choice.
to keep yourself warm.
Yeah.
they're not bulky.
Combine that with the smart
long
jockstrap, and you are styling, man.
I got nothing. I don't know anything about that stuff, Larry.
I don't either.
You asked Robin. Robin addressed it. I got nothing.
Me either. I know. I'm just saying you could be warm.
That's right, exactly, and protected.
Could be warm.
You could have a little excitement with the thigh highs. Let me tell you.
All right. Well, there you go. They're not. It's not all about inventions. It's just ideas, and apparently they're not new. Most of them.
I don't know.
All right, Galen,
Newspaper's not a new idea, that's for sure.
a renewed idea. It's a renewed
Well, like
idea.
albums and record players. They made a comeback for this Christmas season.
I find that amazing.
You could buy the record players the way they used to have when we were kids.
But the albums are so expensive.
Oh yeah, they're like $35 a piece.
Unbelievable. Yeah, and they're all the classic ones.
Yeah.
From our era. There's like really nothing new.
No, exactly.
Well, no, there are artists now that are releasing their albums, whatever you call them, on actual albums.
10 seconds, Galen. Where's the Bloodmobile today?
Today we're at the YMCA at DeLuca. So if your resolution was to give blood and to work out, you can do it all at one spot today.
Yay.
Good ending.
Good
All right,
job. thank
you again. Be careful, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, thanks, you guys. Bye, all.
Bye.
Getting ready to reveal executive actions on gun control.
The president is expected to announce today he's taking action to expand background checks for some private gun sales and provide more funding for mental health care, as well as for more FBI agents. 230 more examiners would be hired to process background checks.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland.
Republicans aren't happy. Presidential candidates, including Ted Cruz, say they'd repeal the actions.
We don't beat the bad guys by taking away our guns. We beat the bad guys by using our guns.
The ATF will issue updated guidance saying the government can consider someone a gun dealer regardless of where they're sold.
A standoff with police at a hotel in Georgia reportedly over, the suspect stabbing himself in the neck. The hostages said to be okay, and stock futures suggest even more selling on Wall Street today. Fox News, we report. You decide.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
What are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
Well, what are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. Don't you remember me? Don't you know that we miss you?
Miss me? Who misses me?
You know, all your friends in the forest. The trees, the pond, that little fort that you made out of branches. We all miss you.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
The forest is not that far away. Have an adventure today. I'm sure your mom would take you.
You're right. I should get out. I want to have fun. Play in puddles, catch frogs, and climb trees. Hey, Mom!
Yeah, hon? Steven, what is that in your hand?
It's my sense of adventure, Mom. It's telling me we need to get out of the house and have some fun in nature today.
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Happy New Year and howdy, folks. Did you ever have someone get fresh with you? RL here to tell you what to do. Just get along down to Dairy Queen Silver Springs and keep your New Year's resolution to eat fresh. That's right, fresh garden salads topped with crunchy fried or grilled chicken, or a fresh banana shake, or a banana split. That's the kind of fresh folks like at Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
What makes male shopaholics harder to spot is how they view shopping in general. Because where women tend to treat shopping as a chance to be social, guys often view shopping as a competition. The fastest way to lose weight is to avoid all meat and dairy products. Whether your partner shaved a few points off his golf score or she got a promotion at work, the way you react is even more important than how you react during a crisis.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Brad. I want to take a moment to talk about a serious issue. In the next 5 years, the aviation industry is projected to have a shortage of commercial pilots. Now is the time to start training. Ocala Flying Club has started a scholarship for the youth of Marion County ages 17 to 24. The club will donate up to $4,000 towards a pilot's license. This will help get the student on their way to obtaining their commercial pilot license. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, or if you know someone that would be, please contact Ocala Aviation Services, 861-7484.
Robin, let's try a little plant trivia. Name this nursery. It's a not-for-profit, and it teaches growing and caring for plants to their students.
Oh, that's easy. Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? It's a nursery conveniently located between Ocala and Bellevue.
Again, it's Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? A nursery with a wide variety of just what you need or want at the most reasonable prices.
Kenny's Place, of course.
Kenny's Place at 7677 Southeast 41st Court. Give them a call at 867-1213. It's a caring place for people and plants. It's Kenny's Place.
Located in Ocala, Rinstar Medical Research has offered a wide range of clinical research trials for 17 years. Rinstar conducts clinical trials for conditions such as migraines, memory decline, fibromyalgia, and sun-damaged skin. To learn more, call Rinstar at 352-629-5800. Help us create a healthier tomorrow by volunteering today.